Good morning. Welcome to the video and another week of training. If you are new here, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, good to see you again. I am currently heading to work this morning, but I wanted to start this morning by going over what I have for breakfast. And this week I'm going to talk about some basic meals that I will eat throughout the week, just to give you all an idea of what I eat, maybe give you some ideas of helpful snacks or lunches, things that you can implement in your training if you'd like. I have the same breakfast about every day. Sometimes I'll get up a little earlier, or Sarah will get up and make eggs or something a little bit different, but most days I'm going to be having the same breakfast. And that consists of one Dave's bagel of some flavor or another with butter on it. I do carry Gold's butter. I find that to be the best tasting, but it's also a very healthy butter. I also have a full shaker bottle of plant protein by Ascent. It is their pea protein. I can do whey protein, but it bothers me a little bit more. I just feel like I am either over full and I don't have a lot to go off of as far as having the next meal because I'm still too full from the protein, or just doesn't digest well. So I opt for a plant protein. That way I'll link both those items below and link all of kind of my favorite items, different snacks, as we move through the video in the description below. Outside of that, I have started adding Aussie Bites. They're basically just kind of a little grain seed flax mix. They're just easy, quick calories, basically some extra carbs, proteins, good source of fiber. I've added those in this morning. I had two, just quick and easy. It's basically what I have for breakfast. Sitting down to have some lunch, and I'm having a new favorite staple, and this is salsa chicken enchiladas. I also have a couple pieces of sourdough toast with some Kerrygold's butter to get some extra carbs and fats in. The real key that is a part of these enchiladas is the salsa chicken. It's a great way to make some quick bulk protein that you can have throughout the week, and it's a great Crockpot chicken because it stays moist, it doesn't get all dried out, and it really reheats very well. So highly recommend that. I can put in a link to a recipe that you all can use if you'd like to try it, but this is absolutely delicious, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat this. It is now Tuesday evening, and we are about to go start off this week of training. Typically, Mondays are going to be my start of the week for any of the weeks in this block. That being said, yesterday was New Year's Day, so I opted to take my rest from Friday and move it to yesterday. Today's workout is going to be 3 miles at aerobic pace. I'm going to be running the loop that I just found this weekend, but in the opposite direction. I like to do that anytime I find a new course, so I have an idea of how difficult it is in either direction, get an idea of the elevation profile. Just gives me a little bit more optionality in my training, gives me more ideas of where I can go and train for different types of workouts. I'll let you know how it goes. Let's go train. Run 1 of the week is done. One thing I did notice going on that loop later in the day is that it's completely dark. I do have a headlamp, but it is a little annoying when you're running against traffic to have headlights constantly in your face. Just a lot for your eyes to go back and forth from bright headlights to darkness and then back again. That loop going in the opposite direction was harder in the sense that it's more gradual hill. When you go clockwise, it's one steep hill. For me, I'd rather have one steep hill if I'm looking for an easier run than a gradual climb. Other than the loop being really dark, I did feel that going in the counterclockwise direction, it is a bit harder of a run. The differentiator there for me is that when you go in that direction, it's more of a gradual climb the whole time. If you go in the clockwise direction, it's kind of one big hill right at the end. And that's what I would prefer when I'm doing any kind of easy run. Just sitting down to eat dinner, and I'm having a meal that I'll have fairly commonly throughout the week, starting with a little salad, and then the main portion of the meal is some pasta with beef and red sauce and some sourdough with butter. Main focus of dinner for me is really getting in volume and especially carbs. It's just not practical for me during the day when I'm at work to have a really carb heavy lunch. So I try to really prioritize carbs towards the end of the day. That can also help a lot with sleep, as your body has a lot to work through, help you become naturally drowsy towards the end of the day. We'll do a couple different types of meals like that. Dinner can vary. Sometimes we'll do pastas and salads. Sometimes we'll grab some pizzas. Just really depends. A lot of the meal prepping during the week is more focused towards lunch since there's a little less time during the week to prepare that. Welcome back to the track. Tonight's workout is 6 by 800 repeats with 800 float. Those repeats are going to be at 10K pace, and because I am determined to learn from my lesson this last weekend with my race pace workout, I did look at my last 10K effort to get a pace to aim for those repeats. The last 10K I did, that was an official race that I timed myself, I put an effort in. Average pace was 7:39 a mile, so I'm gonna try to stay as close to that as I can. I am recognizing that I probably have put on some fitness since that race in August. I would rather do this workout the way it's prescribed, the way that it is written out, so that I can get the optimal effect from it, even if it is slightly easier than maybe it's intended to be at this point in the block. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a different experience than trying to go absolutely crazy like I have been. Sticking to this, I think, will help me tremendously throughout the rest of this week with the rest of the training that I have coming up, building up to the long run at the end of this week. I'm about to go do my 3 miles at aerobic pace for today's training, but I wanted to just quickly talk about the track work I did last night. The whole goal of that for me was really to stay at my true race pace, or what I think I should have been at, trying to learn the lessons from this weekend, not going overly hard and taxing myself unnecessarily. I did a good job of staying around that pace, around high 7:30s into low 7:40s. I found that it was actually a little bit difficult to stay in that pace, being that I was having a hard time either going a little bit too slowly, so getting into the 8 minute per mile, or going way too quickly. I also noticed that I tend to speed up around the turns on a track. I don't know if it's just a mental thing. My body feels like I'm about to finish a lap, so it speeds up. It felt really solid. It actually felt more energizing than it did taxing to run at that pace, and still felt like a really strong effort. Another super important part of training day to day are the supplements and snacks that you eat throughout the course of your training. Starting with what I take every morning, I start with a Men's multivitamin. It's a great brand, great ingredients. I also take a methylated B12 vitamin. I'll take a vitamin D every other day. That's for a couple reasons. A, this is a pretty high IU for D3. There's also D vitamin already in my Men's multi. The other supplement I take is this omega-3 fish oil by Sports Research. Really like this because it doesn't give you that kind of fishy aftertaste that you might normally get from other fish oils. There's a lot of research and study going into how good fish oils are for you, not only for your joints, which is something we constantly have to think about as endurance athletes, but also also for your longevity and mental acuity. Another item I will use pretty much daily is this Ascent plant protein. This is their pea protein blend. I'll use this for a couple different reasons. It is great just as a protein. I'll mix it up in the morning and have a protein shake. I will also use that as a base for a protein oatmeal, which is delicious. I'll show you what that looks like in a clip after this. It's a great way to curb some of your cravings, mix it with fruit. It's basically a dessert that is super healthy for you, helps you get in a lot of carbs and protein into your day. I'll also fairly regularly take a Element electrolyte mix. Real tip here is the chocolate salt is great for hot chocolate. If you mix it with even just water, tastes amazing. It tastes like any other hot chocolate mix that you might get. Throw little marshmallows in there. It's awesome during the winter. As far as fueling for running specifically, I will take a scoop of G1M Sport, especially for longer runs or runs that are going to take a little bit more out of me. Helps me get a little bit more salt in and allows me to add in a few more carbs for my body to pull from while I'm working on that longer or harder effort. Also fuel, you'll see a lot of times with their Go gels for longer efforts, help keep those calories in, keep me from bonking any long runs or harder runs. And these are a great gel. I've also used Spring Energy in the past. These are great, much smaller to carry, and they are super light on your digestion. You don't even feel like you really took anything in. Those are great, help you feel like you ate something but don't tax you too much. As far as snacks that I'll have throughout the day, I have a couple of my favorite options here. I'll usually have a boba bar every day, as well as a keto cup from Evolve. These are both just great ways to get in a few extra calories. They're about 120, 130 a piece. Great way to get in carbs from the boba bar and then healthy fats and proteins from the keto cups. Also have a chomp stick. Really love this company. Great tasting jerky, preservative free, hormone free, fully organic. Really enjoy that product. Then these are the newest edition, these Aussie Bites you can get at Costco. They are a oat flax mix, great source of additional omega-3s, fibers, and a great way to just get in some extra calories throughout the day. I'll usually have these with breakfast in the morning. They're an easy way to get in those extra carbs and fibers that I need. If you are interested in any of these products, I will link them all down in the description below. Here's that protein oatmeal. In here I have a scoop of the Ascent pea protein. It's 25 grams of protein. Then I have 3/4 of a cup of milk and 3/4 of a cup of oats. Then I usually do a couple handfuls of fruit and some honey just to add some extra carbs and micronutrients. Other than that, very easy to make, very delicious. As I mentioned, tastes very much like a dessert, but it's actually healthy. Pause this run to show you a little herd of deer just hanging out on the hill. Okay, back to the run. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel and helps people just like you find this content. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you see new content right as it comes out. Otherwise, we'll see you on Monday.